What is going on, Celtics Nation? You are tuned into the Dynasty Proud post-game podcast, talking about the Boston Celtics loss to the Detroit Pistons, 104-103. Um, Man, just a Derek White stinker today, and missed free throws at the end of the game pretty much sealed it for the Celtics. Trying to get a road win out there in Detroit. I am the Parquet Poppy. This is my boy Adrian here at NBA Swing Pass. You guys can find us there on X. You can also follow the Dynasty Proud podcast and Boston Sports Entertainment Network in the social handles at the bottom of the screen. Rough one, man. Competitive game throughout. Ultimately, at the end, the Celtics were not able to clutch up in clutch time, man. It was, within 5 minutes left to go in the game, and missed free throws from Namish Keita, Derek White with a technical free throw missed in the fourth quarter, and Jalen missing 2 free throws. Was it coming out the timeout, right?
Yeah, right after
Yeah.
the timeout. Yep.
Right out the timeout. Detroit with the perfect timeout. They knew that they could get Jalen off the line, make him rest, think about the free throws for a little bit, and it affected him. Pretty much when we were coming from back from that break, I was thinking, this is the perfect opportunity for Jalen to miss 2 free throws. It's usually what happens when he's in the clutch. The stats prove it. I went ahead and posted a retweet of the the most missed free throws in clutch time, and Jalen, the free throw percentage, and Jalen is about at like 50%. It's absolutely terrible. Not going to put too much blame on him, but at the same time, they're free throws for a reason. You have to make those. It changes the game completely at the end there. You're up one instead of down one, looking to take the last shot. And yeah, I mean, it was just a no help from pretty much anyone besides Sam Hauser today for Jaylen Brown. Everyone else was pretty much I don't know. They just like were not contributing. Especially Derek White. Probably the worst game from Derek White we've seen from him since he's been traded to the Celtics. I mean, that was just an absolute stinker. The shots looked terrible. I mean, they looked really bad, like kind of like how they were at the beginning of the season. Nowhere close. He wasn't playing well on defense either. Felt like the lack of shot making was really getting to him. I mean, he got shook by Duncan Robinson on a jab step. Had Derek White like literally backpedaling to the baseline. I mean, he shook him that hard. You never see that from Duncan Robinson and Derek White on Duncan Robinson. Something was going on with him today. It was brutal to watch. And Jaylen Brown just trying to carry the team. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the game-winning shot, and that's your game. I mean, this was just an intense battle throughout, and Detroit has now won 3 out of 4. They win the season series 3-4. The Celtics got the 1 win early in the season, but it's pretty much been Detroit ever since. And close games, all the losses from the Celtics to the Detroit Pistons, and I really feel like Jason Tatum coming back helps put the team over them. Like just having Jason Tatum on the team completely changes the way they look and actually gives us a way better shot to defeat that team in a 7-game series.
Yeah, no show from the bench today. Simon's didn't give you much. Garza, I guess, was leading scorer coming off the bench, but he was in foul trouble for most of the game. No support, like you said, for JB. Peyton had a pretty good third quarter, but the fourth quarter is where it counts. And Derek had a horrible game. He was doing everything except scoring, but they needed him to score because he was missing a lot of shots that he's capable of making, free throws at the end. Not a pretty game. But it was competitive. JP could have pulled it off at the end and saved face. Nearly went in on the double bounce there, but just not enough. It was a game that they should have won, and that's the frustrating part of this. It's a game they could have won and they should have won. hit your free throws, be a little more, I don't know, engaged. It is a trend that I'm seeing. They're not engaged in the beginning of the game. There's lull moments from the starters, and Jordan Walsh, he didn't provide that energy, that spark that he usually does. Uh, it was just it was just a funny, weird game to watch. It was a good game, but it was just a weird game. It was just no flow for the Celtics.
Yeah, no flow. And I thought Jordan Walsh played decent defense though this game, but
Yeah,
obviously you need some of these guys to score. I mean, when the team, when you're the usual suspects are helping the team, like the offense looks great. But when those guys aren't having any success scoring, you need some other guys to step up. I mean, Anthony Simons today, 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from three, 9 points in 25 minutes, and his shot selection wasn't the best today. So you would hope that Jordan Walsh with the scoring output he had earlier this season, maybe he tries to, get a little more aggressive, but I mean, it just was not his game today. He was mainly out there to play defense, try to just stop Detroit as much as they could. Cade Cunningham, he was playing on him a little bit today, and the Celtics pretty much, said, "Hey, let everybody else beat us besides Cade." Cade today, 4 of 17 from the field, and you know, pretty much everyone else was making the shots. I mean, Tobias Harris, coming back in this, helping this Detroit team today with 25 points. Duncan Robinson, 15 points. These guys who have been tormented by the Celtics in the past,
yeah,
when they were on their other teams. And these guys came out and basically were like, all right, you guys don't think that we can score. So, you know, Tobias Harris working down in that post game pretty much most of the game today. I mean, he was absolutely just taking advantage of the mismatches that the Celtics were giving him. Duncan Robinson, the 5 for 11 from the field today, I from 3 point range today with 15 of his own. That he had probably had to feel like that was a great get back game for him. Personally, after he's been attacked by Jalen Brown on the mismatch all season, all year right now. So for him to kind of like get his get back this game, I'm sure that felt good for him. But yeah, it was pretty much everyone else beat us besides Cade Cunningham kind of night, and they did that. Looking at Detroit's box score, I mean, a lot of these guys, the plus minuses, a lot of these guys were in the negative. -4 for Duncan Robinson, to Tobias Harris at an even 0. Uh, Jalen Duren at -4, Cade Cunningham +2, Asar Thompson -6. That's their starting lineup right there. The Celtics kind of held them, but their bench contributed a little bit. They contribute a lot more than the Celtics bench. 8 points from Beef Stew, Ronald Holland, 3 points, 3 points from Javante Green, Levert, 2 points, Jaden Ivey, 7 points. All those guys were in the +8, +3, +4, 0, and +2. So, um, the Celtics bench, I mean, they're really not doing. I mean, the only guys that are really scoring off the bench right now are Simons and Garza a little bit.
yeah.
And Detroit was giving it to Garza. They were letting him take 3 point shots today, but that's only gonna be successful. Against that Detroit defense, like it's gonna be minimal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's been 50% on the season for his 3 point shooting. They were talking about it on the broadcast today, but this guy's not taking 7, 8 3 point shot attempts like how Derek White does or how Peyton Pritchard is doing a night. I mean, the guy doesn't take too many. So, the more that the Detroit Pistons are going to let Luka Garza take 3 point shots, I mean, unless this guy is like getting, so many reps at the from the 3 point shot, I mean, we can't expect him to be a Al Horford prototype coming off the bench right now. Al Horford definitely took way more shots from the 3 point line than Luka Garza did, but I mean, even Al would take. I mean, defenses would let him take them. I don't know why they would let Al do that. I mean, Al Horford was just a crazy player. I don't even understand how Al Horford made that switch in his career to play down low to just being an outside threat. But Luka Garza is not in that same realm as him. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was just yeah. The refs were all over this game too. And I don't know, man. It was just like I don't know. The refs like I feel like they were trying to um, keep the physicality a little bit down, because right off the bat we saw Jalen Brown and Beef Stew go at it. They got really quick technical fouls, and it just seemed like the refs were pretty like focused on, hey, like we're not going to let these guys, there's a little bit of,
Mhm.
bad blood between these two teams coming from the last game. We're not really going to let these guys go in and, start beating the shit out of each other. So, um, that's, when the refs do that and both teams are taking those amount of free throws, between both teams at the 40 plus free throws, right? For the Celtics, they took 30 as a team and Detroit took 23 as a team. When you're getting that many free throws, like the
Mhm.
Celtics shot 80%, but bro, you gotta be at least 90% from the free throws. Like if they're
Yeah.
giving you that many, so unfortunate for the Celtics. Those missed free throws at the end from Derek White, Jalen Brown, Nemish Queta, completely, changed the outcome of the game. It's a completely different game making those free throws, and that's where the game was lost, man. Also the game was lost from Derek White. I mean, Derek White had to show up and he didn't.
Yeah, he was a no-show offensively, just horrible shooting night. Peyton gave you a little bit in the third. You just needed more scoring. Jalen carried the team pretty much all through. No bench support. It just felt like Jalen was just trying to will this team to win, and you just need more guys to step up and make plays, make your free throws. Be engaged. Make plays on the defensive end. If you're not hitting your shot, just hustle, make plays on the defensive end. The harder team typically wins, and it seemed like Detroit was playing a little harder than the Celtics were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just yeah.
Just want to give a shout out to Anthony. Thank you for reposting the stream, man. The support and the and that retweet means a lot, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. It just comes down to the size too of the Celtics, right? I've said it. We've pretty much said it every single game that they played Detroit this year. The size is absolutely affecting the team. Um, Payne Pritchard, Derek White, Anthony Simons. This is going to be tough. If we meet them in the playoffs, it's going to be a tough game for those guys, for the smaller guards. Tatum coming back absolutely helps out with that.
Mhm.
Um, but you can see like the Celtics lack size. So, they're going to get bullied. They're going to get beat physically. And like the team has to rely on Jalen Brown having a superstar, all-star kind of night every night against that team. If the Celtics make it to the playoffs, when the Celtics make it to the playoffs, and if they meet Detroit, if there is no Tatum, Jalen Brown is going to have to be relied on every single night. Can the team support him while he's trying to give a superstar Herculean effort, to beat the Detroit Pistons? It's going to be a tough ask. It's going to be a tough ask. And the other guys, I know Jalen has confidence in them and everything, but they have to, respond to the call. They have to answer the call. Um,
Yeah.
and 3 out of 4, losing 3 out of 4 in the season series to Detroit is, I mean, the Celtics, like we said, a couple other things go the Celtics' way. They make a couple free throws. It's different outcomes for these games, right? So the Celtics are right there. It's just they do just need that one piece like Jason Tatum to come back, and um, It's still going like 7 games, right? But um, you have a better chance. You feel a little bit more confident in their chances of getting past Detroit in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just Detroit. They can hit you with those double bigs. I mean, Duran and Stewart, and You know, they just have so much more size than the Celtics. I mean, who who is the Celtics double big? You know, Kata and Garza. That's not really a formidable duo right there. So
Right, and then if you're trying to switch it up, I mean, you got X-Man who doesn't get any minutes, slow feet, right? I mean, he played a couple minutes in the game and he was out of there. I mean, he looked kinda lost. They put him on the floor, slow feet, didn't like kinda was like he was screwing up the spacing, and he was out of there really quick. Joe was just like, "I'm just gonna go with Luka Garza and, just ride the 4 fouls," basically, 'cause, X-Man came into that game not ready. Like they called them the stay ready crew. X-Men was not ready for that game. Um,
yeah,
so unfortunate. And then Boucher just gets absolutely no play off the bench anymore. I mean, it's not even a thought to Joe Mazzulla to put him on the floor. I don't know what happened, man. I
uh,
mean, like it's kind of crazy to me that he's getting no shot at trying to help this team win some games when your bigs are in foul trouble. But
mhm.
he I guess Joe just sees him as a end of the bench kind of guy, which is unfortunate because he did show sparks earlier in the season, and then even showed sparks when when he was with the Toronto Raptors. Uh, yeah, tough for him, man.
Yeah, I see them possibly moving on from him. I mean, he could be a
Yeah.
piece that they move on to deadline. Excuse me. Yeah, because he has no spot on his team at this point. And I mean, he was out for I think it was like 5 games or something for personal reasons. There may be a deeper story to all that, but who knows? I mean, he can't be happy with his role on his team. I'm sure that he's an option that they move on from.
Yeah, I would think that they would have to take a look at it. But I mean, the return you're going to get from him is just going to be another end of the bench guy. I mean, the value that he has to other teams, I don't really see it, right? Because I mean, if
Mhm.
the Celtics don't play him, right? I mean, they see him as having like a negative value. So yeah, it is what it is. The Celtics almost got the win, right? They almost got the win. They didn't really need him, but when that foul trouble was happening with the bigs, and you put in X-Man who was unprepared for the game. um I mean, it was just crazy to see that he didn't even get a shot. So yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I really feel like I mean, I don't know, man. Like if I feel like Williams down in Maine has a better chance of playing minutes over Boucher. Um, whenever he comes up to the NBA consistent, and he's gonna get consistent minutes.
Yeah.
I honestly would have loved to see Williams in this game. To be honest, like
Yeah.
would have been. I mean, it would have been a nice to have some size, but he is still a developing player. So I mean, like you can't really throw him in against the number one team in the East. I mean, those guys are just monsters, and that would be kind of probably detrimental to his development if we're being honest. But I still have confidence in him that he's gonna be a great big for the Boston Celtics in the future. Yeah, man. Let's take a look at this box score. I'm like, ugh. All right. Um, 27 minutes from Sam Hauser, 16 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from three. I don't know why Sam Hauser didn't get really like any more looks towards the end of that game when he was like the one who was helping JB out the most, kind of helped them get back into the game in that fourth quarter too. So um would have loved to see a little bit more called for him at the end.
Mhm.
Um I don't know, man. Jalen Brown taking 28 shots, again is it's a lot of shots, my man. 11 for 28 from the field, 2 of 8 from three, 11 rebounds, double double today for him. 4 turnovers, and the turnovers were in some pretty bad moments again. It's just like I'm okay with the 4 turnovers from Jalen Brown, but it's it's the timing of when the turnovers happen that kill momentum for this team sometimes, man.
Yeah.
You think they're coming back in it, and then turns the ball over. Detroit goes down on a fast break, and they'll hit like a you know transition bucket. If there's a miss on that transition, all their guys are back there to rebound the size, and all the second chance opportunities. They just they capitalize on it,
Yeah.
and they capitalize on the Celtics' lack of size. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, Celtics also only had 13 assists today. The ball was not moving at all against this defense at all.
Mm.
13 assists to Detroit's 24. I mean, the ball's got to move against these guys, right? These
Yeah.
the the Detroit Pistons, they have size, right? But you know, if you're gonna be playing small, you got to be moving that rock. You got to be getting those larger defenders moving their feet. Have them thinking quick, and then reacting, and trying to capitalize off of those reactions and miscues. But the ball just did not want to move. Um,
Yeah.
y-
Yeah. It's just
you know,
sticky hits. That's all it
yeah,
is. I mean,
exactly.
Jalen Brown, all his turnovers are from dribbling. I think
Hmm.
he's so confident in his ability. He thinks he can take 5 guys on off the dribble, and the defense knows what's going to happen. They know he's going to
Yep.
bury his head and just go into the paint. And a lot of times he loses control, and he's been
Yep.
called for a lot of offensive fouls lately with that off arm push offs. And
Yep.
I mean, he's trying to carry this team and he's playing aggressively. It's just better decisions, maybe, less dribbling. I think they just
Hmm.
need to have Derek White bring the ball up, and Derek White has to find him. Less dribbles, stronger to the basket. He doesn't need to bring the ball up all the time up full court or try to run the break on his own. He he does it. He overextends himself. He's capable of it. It's just it leads to turnovers. I mean,
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And then, Derek White, yeah, he led the team in assists today with 5, but I mean, it wasn't enough. Like the ball movement was not enough. You know, let's see, Jalen Brown 2 assists, Peyton Pritchard 3 assists. I mean, that's just not gonna cut it against a team like that. You have to move the ball around. Only 1 assist coming off of the bench today for Baylor Shireman. I mean,
yeah,
Anthony Simon's not looking to pass, just looking to shoot.
yeah,
And you just can't have those guys falling in love with just always trying to be aggressive. The other guys on the team have to get the ball in rhythm, and with the ball moving. The Celtics have talked about it in the past that the ball, move. The shots go in when the ball's moving with energy, and it's true because
yeah,
all those reps that they take in practice. It becomes the muscle memory in game, and that's not happening. That did not happen with this game. Major fall off from the last game against Atlanta, where the shots were just
hmm,
going in with ease and then they play a better defensive team today, and it's a struggle for them. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, you can't have Jalen Brown taking 28 shots, only making 11 of them with only 2 assists to go with it. He has to be looking for the open guy. 32 points, props to him. He got his 32, got to the line today, 8 of 10 from the free throw, but those 2 missed free throws killed the team at the end. Your superstar number 1 has not been the best free throw maker in his career, and it reared its ugly head again today in this game. Um, but I can't get too much on Jalen Brown. Like I said, he was the only one doing anything today. I will get on Derek White today. Absolutely, probably the worst game he's had in a Celtics uniform since being traded to the team. 4 points, 38 minutes on 1 of 11 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, and he made 2 free throws, and he missed 1 technical free throw in the fourth quarter. You make that technical free throw on a wide open, nobody there around you. I know players say that it's the hardest free throw to make, but bro, it's one free throw,
Mhm.
a free point given to you, and that game is into overtime with just that, right? I'm not even like I can't even really fault Jaylen Brown too much for his two missed free throws because Derek makes the one. He only got to the line 3 times. He makes the one, and then the game is in overtime, and you don't even think about the two that Jalen missed
Yeah.
because, right? It's just like you have to make that when you didn't contribute to the game with your shot. I mean, the shot looked bad today. 4 points, three attempts at the free throw line. One of them it takes you to overtime. You have to make that. You have to make that. Derek White knows that, but man, that was the worst game I've ever seen. He needs a break, dude. He needs to like sit down after this game. You cannot let him after this game go to Indiana and then try to like maybe he wants to play in Indiana and try to figure this out. But Payne Pritchard got the night off. He responded to did he play in Atlanta?
No, I think he was out.
He sat
He
down for
was
that.
out. Yeah, he
Yeah.
sat out.
So he sits down for that one and he comes back today with a 17-point performance. Not the best Peyton Pritchard game, but he needed a little bit of a break as well. So
Yeah.
I really think the fatigue is getting to these guys, is getting to the team right now. Derek White, man, um, he needs a break. Give him a game off. He needs it.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard's probably playing most minutes of his career. Derek White, heavy minutes for these guys. No Tatum. Derek White's supposed to be that second guy going into the year. White was supposed to be that second guy, and I mean, there's a lot of season left, but he's been underwhelming thus far this year, and
I would say
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I would say in this role, it's been a little bit underwhelming. A lot of people had, all-star expectations from him. And I mean, like, he's not even close to being an all-star this year, which is unfortunate. Because, with Tatum on the team the last couple of years, he has looked all-star-ish, right? I mean, but this year, it is just completely different. The slow start to the year absolutely just completely took him out of any type of like all-star game kind of talk. And he's had his ups a little bit this season, but it's been mostly downs. Not
Yeah.
mostly downs, but there's been a lot of them. And yeah, man. I mean, we even go back to last season where he went into a slump a little bit, and he was saying he had lost his joy. He had lost his joy for basketball. That was kind of like a big red flag right there. Um, and I can't help but feel like maybe he's feeling like that a little bit this season as well, and it's probably getting to him. When a player says something like that, I've lost my joy for a little bit for the game. It does get into like those players that have spoken out about their mental health during a season,
Mm,
like a Kevin Love, and like a DeMar DeRozan. Those players that have actively spoken out about their mental health struggles. Um, you know, Derek White, I'm not speaking for Derek White, or anything like that. I don't know what's going on inside of his head, but for him to say that last season, it kind of threw a lot of people off. I would say, and I think it threw me off a little bit too because in the middle of a season where um, you're a defending champion and everything like that to lose that joy a little bit after winning a chip and everything. I don't know, like the pressure and everything of trying to go back to back or something maybe was getting to him. Maybe now this year too, like not having Tatum out there, having the responsibility of and the more pressure on him this season. um not having the expectations that he thought he had for himself. Maybe it's affecting him this season.
mm,
um does Jason Tatum getting reinserted back into the team and everything change that for him? Helps bring that joy back. We know how much he loves to play with Jason Tatum. We've seen their chemistry on and off the court, post game pressers and everything like that. I mean, those guys absolutely love playing with each other. So, you know, Jalen not having that kind of figure in Tatum on the court with him, maybe it is affecting him a little bit. We've seen him get into some spats with Jalen Brown this season, right? When
Yeah.
we've never seen that with him on the court with any of the guys on the team. There was a couple game stretch where they were kind of like, yo, you need to be here. No, you need to be here with each other. It doesn't feel like it is the most fun season for Derek White right now, just watching from afar. Like I said, I'm not speaking for him. I don't know what's going on in his head, but to me, it looks like a guy that's in his head, maybe feeling a little bit of feeling some type of way about his game personally and how he's playing on the court this year.
Yeah, it's 100% mental with him right at this point. These guys play basketball. It's not physical. I mean, they play basketball their whole lives. Mental part. I mean, everyone can run, jump, sprint down the court. Everyone's athletic. It's just the mental component that if it tilts the negative the negative way, it's hard to recover sometimes. You get into that downward spiral and maybe there's something to that. I'm sure he's not happy with how he's playing thus far. I mean, who would be? He probably expects a lot. The team expects a lot from him. You just have to rise above and fight through it. I mean, it's not none of this is going to be easy, and he's just got to battle through it and hopefully rebound and put put some good games together. There's a lot of season left, and just try to battle through.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Because in the past, the All Star break has kind of affected him. In the past, he's come out of his last couple All Star breaks pretty slow. It would be nice for him to get a little bit of a break, maybe even before going into the All Star break, which starts. I had pulled it up earlier. The All Star break is going to be starting February 14th, going to the 19th. So right now, we got about a little less than a month till the All Star break. Feels like Derek White, man, could use this All Star break absolutely the most on the team right now.
Yeah.
Get him a week off. Get him to ha- give him a vacation, man. You know the pressure. He's not making the All Star game this year. We know that. Go on a vacation, man. Just like go relax on a beach somewhere, come back ready to play and more relaxed and just start off the post All-Star game break like better. You know what I'm saying? Just come back in more refreshed, reset, and basically just like, you know, come back better than you have post All-Star game breaks in the past couple years. I feel like, like he needs a reset. He needs a reset.
Yeah, yeah. Also, maybe they put him on the IR or whatever, do not play list for next game. If they're playing Indiana, I think you said Indiana's next, so maybe he has that mystery sprained ankle or something. Maybe in the locker room he twisted his ankle or something. He's a DMP next game. They just need,
Mo- Yeah,
yeah,
most of the time they're saying it's like back injuries. Like I've been noticing that's what the
yeah,
Celtics have been saying for these guys this season.
yeah,
So yeah, maybe a little back soreness after this game. I can see it happening. But he needs it. He needs it. Like I love Derek White, but man, like it was bad today. It was bad. You can't sugarcoat it. Anybody watching this game, you look on Twitter, even the most positive people for Derek White, like I love Derek White, but even the most positive Derek White, supporters were saying, yeah, this is not a good one. Like it's just fair criticism, right? Like we're gonna do it for if we do it for Jason, if we do it for Jalen, we do it for Pritchard. Love Derek White, but the criticism today was a little bit warranted. You can't play against this Detroit team and only score 4 points in the entire 1 point per quarter. You can't have that. That's just not good enough.
nah, he was a no show. It's it's very surprising, very shocking. I mean, this
Mhm.
season's been, like I keep saying it, underwhelming for him. Peyton Pritchard's had his peaks and valleys also. These are the two guys they counted on without Jason Tatum to help support Jalen in his new role, trying to lead this team. I could see Jalen's frustration, the back and forth with some of his teammates. I could see some of that going on behind the scenes. Maybe he just expects more. It's more of like a tough love thing. I'm sure he expects a lot more from these guys than they're. He knows what they're capable of doing, and they're just not performing up to their standards.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, even if Jason Tatum comes back this season, there is not a lot of shooting on this team.
Yeah.
Besides Hauser, Pritchard, and Derek White, and then Derek White hasn't even been, the best shooter this season. He's kind of fallen off a little bit this season. But then you look at the bench. I mean, you got Tillman, Luka Garza. Luka Garza gets you maybe 10 a night.
Hmm.
Anthony Simons. It's always kind of hot or cold with him. When he's on fire, he's on fire. It's amazing, right? The guy is like insane. But when he has a night like this, giving you 9 points in 25 minutes, I mean, it's those are your two main scorers off the bench, right? And it's hot or cold for Anthony Simons too. Luka Garza, yeah, you can probably expect maybe 8 to 10 a game. Depending on the foul trouble, how many minutes he's getting. And Baylor Scheinman's not a big scoring, threat off the bench. Jordan Walsh, not a scoring threat off the bench anymore right now. Hugo Gonzalez, 19 years old, only played a couple minutes. He was out of there quick. He got yanked. But even Hugo Gonzalez, he really doesn't get the opportunities to shoot. Um, and when he does, he's kind of passive. He'll take maybe 2-3 shots a game. That's it, like max. So, um, and then Boucher and Minot have been relegated to the bench. I mean, Minot, how many times have we seen him this past month? This guy's gone. Like he's missing in action too.
Yeah, they got him off for a sprained ankle, and he
Oh,
hasn't
okay, okay.
played. He's probably one of those mystery injuries. I mean, he hasn't played. Nobody remembers when he sprained his ankle because he was fine when the last game he played. So
I know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Minot could be gone this trade deadline too. I mean,
Yeah,
like crazy for him to have like the start to the year that he had to basically DMP coach decisions this past month is just mind-boggling to me. What is going on with him that you just don't want him in the game anymore? M- Man, because he was a spark, right? I mean, he was a spark. A Josh Minot in this game, I feel like could help, but
yeah,
with the injury, yeah, I completely forgot about that. With the injury, yeah, he's not playing, but
mm,
it would be
injuries.
nice to see, yeah, it
Yeah,
would be nice to see him like get some spot minutes again once he comes back from injury because
yeah,
he's got a little bit of length to him too. So Celtics could definitely use that. Yeah, man, it was a tough game today, man. Like you said, should have been one that they won, um, and they didn't. This is actually a game that I was actually pretty upset about the outcome today.
mm,
Like there's been a lot of losses this season where I've kind of just been like, um, it's okay. We're the number 2 seed, blah, blah, blah. No Jason Tatum. We're still sitting pretty good right now. But this is a loss I want. This is a loss that I was mad at because the Knicks lose again today. And then
mm,
you're playing the number 1 team in the East. You're, uh, you know, you're losing the series 2-1. And then you had the opportunity to get it there in the fourth and missed free throws at the end of the game, keep it from being 2-2, season series split, and then you get another game up on the New York Knicks.
yeah, yeah,
I hated it. It made me mad. It made me mad today.
yeah,
Because I just wanted to get within one more game of Detroit and one more game ahead of New York, and we were unable to do that.
Yeah, like the last pod we did, we were talking about maybe Pritchard, going back to the bench, and that made me think Pritchard and then Hauser play off each other so well. They find each other. Pritchard usually finds them coming around those screens and hits them into perfect spot. He goes up and make baskets. Maybe that's the move. Maybe you can get some more production out of Hauser. Maybe regulate him back to the bench, put Peyton back to the bench. Maybe move some pieces around because there's a trend now. These starters, I mean, when they're engaged and on, they're good. But there have been games where the benches actually had to come in and pick up the slack and energize things, and you know, and maybe making some changes. Maybe that's an option at this point. But they're the number 2 seed too, so it's. But I
Right.
don't know.
I don't see that happening. I don't see Joe Mazzulla overreacting to this loss. So I still think he's gonna go with what's been working, but it's not like it's not like this lineup didn't work, right? It's
Yeah.
just it's just when you needed Derek White to just make 1, 2 more shots in this game. That's the game. That's it. The free throws in the game right there. Are the free throws and Derek White just having a stinker was the game. Swoops, what's up, man? Thank you for checking in, man. He says, "How the heck did they lose this game?" I just made it simple for you, man. Derek White having a stinker, and then missed free throws from Nemish Queta, Jalen Brown, and Derek White in that fourth quarter. That's it. That's how they lost this game. They played decent defense. I mean, I thought that the defensive effort from the team was pretty good. The only thing that's killing them again uh, was the 3-point shooting. From the opposing team. I mean, they let Duncan Robinson, score 5 on them from beyond the arc.
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
he's usually they're usually good at containing him, and when usually they let him shoot, um, he's he's hit or miss. Like he's not. I don't know. Like you let Duncan Robinson beat you on the outside. That freaking jab step on Derek White, and for him to bite on that was disgusting. I cannot believe Derek White bit that hard on a jab step. And yeah, he had it going. He had it going for them behind the arc. Swoops right here. Cade Cunningham 16, 14, 16 assists to on his own to Boston's Boston had 14, right, in this game. Uh 13. 13 as a team. Yeah, man. Right there too. Cade Cunningham. They were saying, like I said earlier in the stream, they were trying to let everybody beat them but Cade Cunningham. But the thing is you let Cade Cunningham get 14 16 assists or whatever he had. Let me pull it up. Where he at? Where he at? Cade Cunningham. 14 assists. You tried to stop him, but he was looking for the open man. He basically said, like, all right, you guys are gonna try to stop me on defense. I'm gonna look for the open guy. I'm gonna make the extra pass. He did what Jalen Brown should be doing as the number one guy. An
Mhm.
MVP statement game. Swoops. You hit it on the head, man. This was absolutely a MVP statement type game from Cade Cunningham. 100%. The number one guy on their team when it wasn't going for him. Yeah, he got to the hoop a little bit. He was able to get some of his shots. The Celtics tried to contain him as much as they could, but when he couldn't score, he was looking for his teammates. He was looking to pass. Um
Mhm.
but we also got to remember he is a larger player than Jalen Brown. He has that ability to find the open guy when he has Jalen Brown guarding him. Jalen Brown was guarding him a lot this game, but with that size, he's able to look. He's able to look over Jalen Brown, look for the open guy, and it was easy for him. The passing was just elite from him today. So yeah, man. We talked about it earlier. Swoops. the Celtics have to find a way to move that ball against the larger defenders. They have to find a way to get some ball movement against these guys. They have to get them out of their rhythm. They have to get them moving their feet. They have to get them making quick decisions. It did not happen. A lot of ISO ball, and Adrian was saying earlier, they have the tape on Jaylen Brown. He puts his head down a lot. He's looking to be aggressive and drive. When the head goes down, he is not. You can't see your teammates. You're not looking to pass. They know that. And those turnovers, like I was saying earlier in the game, they come at crucial moments when you think the team is trying to get back in this game, and Jaylen Brown turns it over at a critical moment because the defending teams know when Jaylen puts his head down and he's trying to get the team back into the game on his own, they can try to get a rip off of him. They can get a physical with him. And if the refs are letting them play physical, they're gonna swipe at the ball and try to get those steals. The refs today were pretty whistle happy today, but not really with on the drives from the players. They were kind of like letting the defenders guard up on drives for both teams. So it was yeah, it was a game that Jalen had to be better. But I'm
Mhm.
not putting this loss on him. I'm putting this loss on Derek White because Derek White had to he had to show up and he didn't.
It goes back to trust. I mean, these guys have to trust one another. If they're not trusting one another, they're not going to share the basketball, and they're just going to be iso ball. The guy's going to put his arm up and say, "Give me the ball. Let me do my thing. My turn, your turn." And ball movement, like you said, swing the ball around. Everyone touch it. You find a better shot. You get the bigs moving. The easiest way to defend offensive teams is if they don't move. Guys aren't cutting through the lane. Everyone's just standing still.
Facts.
Everyone's run to the corners and just wait for the ball. And most of the time, they're not going to get it. So better ball movement, better passing. Trust the guy next to you. If you don't trust them, they're not going to pass it.
And we did see it a little bit this game. We did see like the Celtics, Nemish Keita, Luka Garza setting those off ball screens, trying to get guys open. Credit to Detroit's defense. They're a legit defense. But when that's not working, they gotta rely, like, if you're gonna play ISO, the guy's gotta show up. Derek White has to show up point blank.
Yeah, true. He's got to make his shots. Horrible game.
In the fourth quarter, he was hesitating too. I mean, there was a look where he was on the left on the left side of the break from the 3-point line, gets a look, looks to shoot, and then passes. I think it was Peyton Pritchard on his right side, who was kind of like over at the top of the perimeter, and I was just like, he just got the yips. He didn't even want to shoot it at the end of the game.
Mhm.
Derek
Yeah,
White, fourth quarter, Derek White hesitating and not shooting. He was
yeah,
in his head. He was in his head. He was not confident at all. I mean, it was bad.
yeah. He's just got to shake this game off. Hopefully it doesn't carry over and you know come back against Indiana and just shoot better and team play better and share the basketball. I think the two key, if the two key stats are rebounding and assists, usually typically if they're at a good number, they're playing well. They're aggressive. They're sharing the ball. They're playing hard. You get rebounds, you play hard. I mean, you pass the ball, you're sharing the ball, and guys are making shots because that's how you're gonna make assists. Those are the two numbers that pretty much you sort of look at. But
Yeah. Celtics come back to TD Garden for that Indiana game. Um, do you let Derek White come home, just take a day off, no pressure, go home, hang out with the kids, hang out with the wifey, just relax, come into TD Garden, take a day off, hang out with Tatum on the bench, just let the team do their thing and kind of just reset and get ready to go back onto the road. Um, or do you let him does he continue to play? And maybe you get that home cooking, maybe he finds a rhythm. I say give him a day off. I don't care if you're back at home. I just think he needs like kind of like that mental rest of like, you know, just going back to TD Garden, not having to you know to play, get that extra little bit of rest before you go back on the road for a couple games, and just go from there. Right, because then you come back and then you got a 4 game homestand. Um,
Mhm.
and then, if he's still playing bad on the road, at least it's only a 2 game road trip. You come back on and play 4 games at home. Maybe he finds it again. This is like I've said it before, like, you know, maybe Derek White needs like a day off or something like that earlier in the season when he was having those shooting slumps. But this is the game that it feels like you got to give him the day off.
Yeah, yeah, and he definitely needs a break. I mean, mentally and probably a little physically. I'm sure he's got his bumps and bruises. Now we lost Indiana last time, right? We at Indiana, we lost at their place.
Let me check right
So
now. Yeah, we
uh,
lost 98-96.
yeah, so but he does definitely needs a night off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it would
don't
be a
think,
nice move.
and I don't think, they lost to Indiana when they were, it was at the start of their road trip. They had just
Mhm.
lost to San Antonio the game before that. Yeah, I mean, they only lost to Indiana by 2.
Yeah.
Pritchard was the highest, in points in that game. I think you sitting him versus Indiana isn't going to, um, it's not going to hurt you. Uh, Peyton Pritchard sat out versus Atlanta, and they had a easy win over them. Um, you know, I think you just give him that day off, see what the team can go out and do without him, and yeah, just get him ready for a couple game road trip, then come back to home 4 games. So that's what I would do if I was
Yeah.
Joe. But we um we don't know what Joe does, right? Like he's so unpredictable.
Hmm. Yeah, he's
Um, Michael Jordan would have something to say for players taking a day off. Yeah,
mm,
I feel you. I feel you, Swoops. But we are definitely not in that era anymore, man. These are it's a new NBA, for sure. And you know, it's sometimes these guys need it. I
mhm,
would say Michael Jordan finessed NBC this year. Um, I was thinking I was getting Jordan as an analyst this season for NBC. They tricked us, man. They tricked us. They were talking
mhm.
all that Jordan hype for NBC. Jordan gives them a 2-hour sit down interview with, who was it, Mike Tirico, and they tried to spread it out for like the first 10 games of the season,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they realized they couldn't. They like that they had no more content from him. And what Jordan get, like 60 million? He got like a freaking bag off of that. Just completely finessed NBC.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, Jordan, yeah, he can. I don't really care what he got to say about that because he finessed us. I was excited, man.
Yeah.
oh shoot, I'm gonna get a Peacock subscription so I can watch
Mhm.
Jordan talk about basketball. We get the intros and everything, before a game, which have kind of been like a little lackluster, if I'm being honest.
Mhm.
It's been kind of like boring. I'd rather just put on, NBA League Pass and then switch between if I want to watch the intro, the pregame intros, or go to my to my local broadcast talking before the game. I'd rather listen to my local broadcast and watching some of these intros from on NBC for like the game starting and everything like that. It just comes off really quiet. I don't know, and depending on the arena, some of the you know the opening game ceremonies seem pretty stale. I think that they were really like it really only should have been done for the playoffs. I think that is like the only time NBC should have done like like home arena intros and everything like that, because
Yeah.
I mean it's pretty boring having to watch every team's intro on on Peacock if it's not the playoffs, right? Depending on the arena that you're in. Say they have like a game in Miami. I mean, half the you know 3/4 of the state of the arena is not even going to be filled up for the player intros and everything. There's going to be like no noise. It comes off. It's like quiet, right?
Yeah.
I think that they were really trying to go for those glory days of the Jordan, like the Bulls in the finals. During those glory years of NBC, where you had the Chicago Bulls intro music. I mean, that's iconic. That's what people remember the most about the NBC days. Was the finals, the intros from those finals games where Chicago would be coming out to their home crowd and the music starts. Dun, 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 dun. Like
Mhm.
that was cinema. What they're
Yeah.
doing right now, it's kind of boring. I'm kind of underwhelmed by it, and they completely finessed us with the whole Jordan. Jordan's gonna be on NBC, and we got zero in-game analysis and just interview that was spread out over like the first 15 games of the season that absolutely didn't provide like any context or any like didn't provide any insight to the game of
Mhm.
basketball currently that's going on. Just like a glorified Michael Jordan sit down interview about his past and all that stuff. I mean, they finessed us. They finessed us.
Yeah. I don't mind the Prime. The Prime podcast is pretty good. I don't mind them.
I
Like,
like the Prime
yeah,
broadcast too.
yeah. The Peacock stuff, it's a little underwhelming. Um,
Facts.
yeah, and then to listen to Brian Scalabrine do a Peacock, game with the Celtics was kind of weird. It sort of threw me off a little bit there, but
I
yeah,
hate how they do like each individual announcer is on the other team's
it's
like next
bench.
to the other team's bench kind of gimmick, and then they'll show the little the blocks of the camera every time like the guy's talking. Like Scowl will be in the corner and his face is just like covering the court, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is?
Yeah, yeah.
Why are we doing box in what are they picture in picture
Mm,
shots of Scalabrine sitting by himself next to the Celtics bench. Why aren't these guys sitting next to each other? Like,
yeah,
where's the camaraderie? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. I think that whole thing is weird.
yeah. It's a little, yeah.
It just seems all gimmicky to me.
Yeah, they're trying to maybe do a little different, but yeah, it's not working at this point. I don't even know what the ratings are, to be honest, and that's probably a good look to see, but I don't
Yeah,
know how they're
it
doing.
it's just that they have elite intro music.
Yeah,
I mean, that's elite, right?
yeah,
But the song is not matching the energy
mm,
of the broadcast, like, at all to me.
yeah, it's too monotone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just, I thought Scal was good tonight, but,
yeah, it was.
um, it's just weird. I don't like the picture in picture box where it's just showing the one guy and he's just like talking. He's just sitting there by
Mhm.
himself. They kept showing Scal and he's just sitting there and he's just looking at his screen, right? Like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
when the other announcer's talking to him, he's just responding to it and then looking at the screen. It's not like we're talking to each other, like looking next to each other, right? You don't
yeah,
get that.
yeah,
It doesn't feel personable. It doesn't feel warm. It doesn't feel authentic. It just feels
yeah,
like, oh, this is what we think fans will like. We're
yeah,
trying to be different, and it just comes off weird. It just comes off so gimmicky, and all they really got going for them is their elite intro music. That's it.
yeah.
Prime is a better product right now.
Yes, it is. It is. They got what Nash, Blake Griffin. Who else they got? Dirk. No, it's not. Yeah, Dirk Nowinski. Yeah, they got a good crew over there. Yeah.
And didn't like the panel today like start out with like four people and then just like it was down to like three or two by the end of the game. Like people just dip out.
Hmm.
Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's messy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that now like the what is it? The old TNT guys have been relegated to ESPN, and they're
Mm,
getting like what they've had what like 4 games this year. We've seen them
yeah, yeah.
like four games. I'm not gonna lie. I've been waiting for the TNT crew to like be
Take
gone for
over.
like the past couple years.
Mm,
I've kind of gotten sick of the the bashing on everything that's going on in the league kind of gimmick from the old heads. It's pretty annoying, and I'm glad that they got relegated to ESPN, and they're still doing their anytime they show up, they're still doing their same old bits. Shaq falling into some freaking thing on the set, which is just and it's just like, dude, come on. It was funny like 5 to 8 years
mhm.
ago when it first happened. Authentically. You know what I'm saying? When Shaq
Yeah.
first fell and it was authentic and it was hilarious. Now it's just a freaking gimmick and a shtick, and it's just like, bruh, how long are they going to continue with this bit? And then it's just like, well, they
Mm,
obviously don't want to keep continuing with it too much because they've given those guys literally the least amount of games that they're used to. I mean, these guys were on TV every night, and now you barely even notice them anymore, which I am fine with because I thought that their commentary on the game was just absolutely terrible for the league.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right though. They do just try to pin different eras against each other, saying, back in the day and all that. And yeah, it's just an unbiased, just an unbiased play call would be, the appropriate thing. I just call the game as you see it. You don't have to compare eras. You don't have to compare players and say this guy was better than this guy in his prime. Just to let the game speak for itself. I mean, it's so hard to compare eras because nothing's the same. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah, I hear you. I think NBC and Prime, they're doing a decent job at being, the more unbiased kind of coverage. It's just that one network, NBC, is boring, and then
Mhm.
Prime actually has guys that have a little bit, that actually have a little bit of like character to them, a little bit, they're a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
I don't even know, like they're just a little more um
hip.
I don't know, real, authentic
Yeah,
about what they're talking about and everything. You guys
yeah.
got like you said, Steve Nash, Blake Griffin on there, and I don't know, it just seems like, it doesn't seem as dry as NBC.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's like this giant leap better, but it's not
Hmm.
as dry.
Yeah, they do a lot more. I mean, they're dancing in the studio. They got basketballs in their hands. They're shooting baskets.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's more lively. It's more hip. It is.
It's more
Yeah,
chill. It just feels like more of like what the NBA fan would want, right? You're just talking hoops with the boys, shooting hoops during, while the game, like you said, like they're just like chilling, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it just feels a little bit less dry than NBC. But yeah, that's our little rant about the state of the broadcasting. Um, Soups out here cut down on the turnovers, and Boston could have won. Agree, brother. Agree.
Mm,
Um, Let me look at those numbers real quick. Um, yeah, because Boston, like we said, they were mentioning it on the broadcast too. They were not really taking care of the ball today. 14 turnovers for the Celtics, and the
mm,
Detroit Pistons had 6.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
and most of the points that Detroit uh well, I'm not gonna say most of the points because by the end of the game, it was obviously different. But earlier in the game, about almost half the points from Detroit were coming off the turnovers. In that first
Mm,
half. So, uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, turnovers killed them. Turnovers killed them too. A lot of stuff in this game killed the Celtics. So very winnable game. Very unfortunate that they weren't able to get another game over New York Knicks and get a little bit closer to that 1 seed, but they're still sitting fine in the 2 seed. That's fine. Soups right here updating us. Soups, man, appreciate you coming out here every night, brother, and helping contribute to the
Mm,
conversation, man. Really appreciate you, man. And
stats guy.
yeah, he's been helping. He's been keeping us up to date and everything like that, updating us and everything. Really appreciate that, my man. If anybody else is watching, it says we have about 53 live viewers on X. We got one viewer swoops over there on YouTube. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you guys want to give us a follow, I'm at Parquet Poppy. My boy Adrian here is at NBA Swing Pass. We tweet a lot from our socials about the game. We tweet live about how we're feeling. For me, I'm pretty much no filter when I talk about what I'm seeing on the court. I know my boy Adrian right here. He's a little more composed. He doesn't really like you don't really get as lively and as real as I do. I get a little emotional sometimes, but I mean, I love this team. I love basketball. Um, but yeah, give us a follow. You can also, if you're also into other Boston sports, you can actually follow the Boston Sports Entertainment Network um, at BSEN 617 on X as well. Yeah, if you're tuned in, don't be afraid to drop a comment, man. Would love to talk to everybody out there watching this. If you're retweeting the stream, we appreciate you too. We got my boy Anthony who retweeted the stream earlier. Appreciate that support. But yeah, man. Other than that, man, not too much more to say about this game. Very, very winnable game. Unfortunate that the Celtics weren't able to make that last second shot from JB, right? He got a good look, just didn't
Yeah.
go in. And that happens. But we live to play another game. Um, and yeah, man. We need to come up with like a nice like little outro and stuff for this. We still need to have like a meeting with Rit. I want to talk about getting Be Ever Ready on an intro or something. Maybe we can contact him. Crazy, man. The Locked On Celtics podcast doesn't do his intro anymore. Would be nice to get a little intro from that guy. Very known voice in the Celtics podcast community with that intro. Would be sick if we could get a nice Dynasty Proud intro from him. Um,
Yeah.
his his website has his email on there. I'm probably just going to shoot him an email, see what a quote would be. But it'd be nice to have like a nice little intro. But we need to have something for the outro, man. We need to like come up with something. We'll brainstorm and we'll do like a
Mhm.
little. We'll start getting like a little outro here for the pod and everything. Some kind of like saying or something like that. But until we figure that out, um, my man, do you have anything more to say about the game?
No, no. We play again. We live to play another game. We get
Mhm.
Indiana next and just stack some more wins.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, it always feels good to sit here and talk about the game after a loss, to get the frustrations out because I feel a lot better. The beginning of the pod, I was not feeling great about that loss, but after talking about it, like we always do, we got Swoops in here helping to talk to us a little bit about the game. Um, you know, get it out of our system, get that hate. I wouldn't say hate, but get that frustration from that
Mhm.
loss off our chest. And now we're able to go and enjoy time with our families and uh, not have it affect them.
Yeah, yeah. This is a safe space for anyone who wants to vent, to let
Facts,
it loose and just talk Celtics, good or bad.
facts. Well, other than that, I'm sure those post games press conferences are already out. I'm sure the Celtics players have said how they are um how they've let one go, that they're not happy or satisfied with how they played today, and we move on to the next one just like they do. So until the next game, which is going to be against the Indiana Pacers in 2 days on the 21st at TD Garden. Hoping for a nice little bounce back win. Um, the Celtics have had a couple back to back losses this year, but haven't had 3 losses in a row since the beginning of the season. So I think they can bounce back against this Indiana team. If Derek White is taking a break, that'll be I would welcome that. But if he's not, maybe it's a bounce back game for him at home. Until then, I believe we're post gaming. I believe we're doing the pod for that because Celtics are finally back on kind of like a normal schedule here. Um, let me see. Are we? Yes, we are. We are here for that post game. So we'll be here for that post game of the not Detroit Pistons, Celtics versus the Indiana Pacers. Swoops right here with the last one before we go. Next game should be better. Still counting down to Tatum's return. Facts, my man. 100% feel that same sentiment, and that's where we're going to end it on right here for the Dynasty Proud post-game pod. Thank you for tuning in if you tuned in on X or on YouTube, and thank you for interacting with us. Swoops, you're the GOAT. Appreciate you, my man. Until then, we will see you guys later, and as always, let's go Celtics. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.